Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Eldos Boxing. Back again with another one. We got this big fight day, man. I'm excited about this fight card that's coming up tonight. In a couple of hours, we got Abdullah Mason defending his WBO lightweight title against a late replacement, Albert Bell, but a very solid opponent. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna talk about the card. We're gonna run up and down the card, man. Let you guys know where you can watch it, where you can find it. In the chat right here, I'm about to put the prelims. The prelims going to start in about an hour and a half. So 7 o'clock East Coast, 4 o'clock West Coast. So you guys can tap in, and we're going to talk about the fights that's on the prelims. So yeah, we're gonna get it popping. Man, I like this card, man. This 4th of July. Um, Also, y'all, you guys look into that, tap into that poll I have. Let me know which fight gonna have the most fireworks. You know what I'm saying? Um, out of the three. So yeah, y'all tap in with that. Feel free to do so. Man, I like how this card kind of came together, man. If you really look at it, the top three fights on the card is all undefeated fighters. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope in itself, because a lot of cards we've been getting will have some lopsided action, and sometimes it's kind of look crazy. But I think all three fights right here that's listed, um, there's gonna be some good fights. You know what I'm saying? I think the B side opponent will test the A side guy. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna talk about the card. We know this is a homecoming card for Abdullah Mason and his brothers. He got two brothers fighting on the card. So making his first title defense after winning the fight last year against Joe Cordina in a real tough, close competitive fight. That fight took a lot out of Mason. In my view, I feel like that was a tough fight. He probably didn't have to fight that style of fight. Probably could have made it easier. But he got the win nonetheless, though. Marlon Prince in the building. What's good, bro? Happy 4th. Salute to you. My bro Mike in the building. What's good? Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, that's another key component to this card with the addition of Bomac and Tiger's Corner for sure. But you got the brothers on the card, the Mason brothers. They fight on the prelims. The two brothers are fighting on the prelims. Abdulrahman Mason. I think he's older than Abdullah. I think he's like maybe a year older. They all look alike though. And then Iram Mason. So these guys are 2-0, two knockouts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's good to see them. We haven't really seen them on a big stage. You know what I'm saying? Because all the focus has been on Abdullah. But it's good. And this is cool though. When you come back home, you know what I'm saying, you basically doing you know, your welcome back, you know what I'm saying? Your welcome back tour. You want to get your brother some shine, and this is good. You know what I'm saying? So I can't even tell you how good these guys are because I've seen only clips of them. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm looking forward to see them. So in the chat, I got the link to their prelims, so you can catch the prelims free on YouTube. So tap in, click on that link, set your notifications, and then you'll be able to go right to it. So this is good though. I want to see. I know one of these guys are Orthodox, so that's gonna be interesting. But all these guys look just alike, so it's gonna be crazy to see the resemblance of these guys. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. On the main card, you got the hot prospect Scooter Davis, Derek Davis, out of DC. He's a vicious body puncher for sure. Gregor Carmichael, salute. What's good? Scooter's he's a big puncher, especially to the body. 11-0. I think his knockout streak got broken in his last fight. He fought in Baltimore. Um, you know, and he had to go the distance, and he fought a guy with a lopsided record. So some people can look at that and say he fought a bum and he didn't knock him out. Um, I mean, another little caveat to that: his fight, he didn't start walking to the ring until like 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what was going on with that fight card, but that's hella late to be walking to the ring. So maybe that had played a part in it. I don't know, but we haven't seen Scooter Davis on really prime time as of late. He's been fighting on a lot of these undercards while Top Rank got their deal together. You know what I'm saying? He's just been fighting on local shows. So he's facing Carlos Ramos. This is southpaw. Last time I seen him, he was in Canada. He got stopped against what's his name, Dimitri Asono. Stopped him. He quit actually. Like he quit in between rounds. So he's been stopped before, and he got dropped to the body as well, and that's Scooter Davis' forte. So and this guy Ramos is a smaller guy. He fought as low as 122 pounds, and they fighting that lightweight. So I expect Scooter Davis to look good in this fight. This is a nice little showcase, and I think it's about time to step up his competition because his first 11 fights, first 10 fights, been kind of easy. It's been some easy work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's gonna be on TNT and the Zone, so you guys have the option to watch this card if you guys have TNT. But I'm tapped in with the Zone. So yeah, looking forward to see Scooter Davis though. You know, this can be a kind of a nice little segue so they can push him into bigger and better competition at the lightweight division because his name is ringing out. He get a lot of promotion, like kind of like Cromel Moten. A lot of Cromel's fights, you know, he don't have a lot of fights on TV per se, but when he do fight, we're tapped in with him. Whether it's somebody got him on IG Live or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see. He said, I know he has no resume, but I hear he never lost a round. Yeah, I mean, he been having some easy work for real. His competition been poor. Man with pedigree in the building. What's good? What's good? But there's a lot of hype behind him, and I think he's a solid fighter though. He's training with Barry Hunter out of the Headbanger, so you know he got some good training. All right, this welterweight contest right here is pretty decent and interesting as well. You got Tiger Johnson versus Christopher Guerrero, two undefeated guys trying to make that next step in the welterweight division. I believe the welterweight division is wide open. Um, I think there's a lot of 50-50 fights in the welterweight division now that Jerron Ennis moved up to 54, and we know what he's done since then. But Tiger can kind of put his name higher in the echelon of these guys. Um, and he's been matched up real tough as an up and coming Olympian and top ranked prospect. He's probably been matched up the toughest, and that's gonna pay off when he step up in competition. I like this fight. Guerrero is a good boxer, puncher, athletic. You know what I'm saying? They brought him in to Steve Claggett's training camp to get him ready for Teofimo. So that just tells you where they felt how they felt about him and his boxing ability. So that could be a key component, man, if he can box with Tiger. But Tiger is on the rise right now. He been looking good since moving up to welterweight. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a good point, bro. Because he hasn't fought. What has he fought in the states before? I'm not even sure, but yeah, that's a good point. We're gonna see. You know what I'm saying? He has some solid fights and stuff. Some performances he looked real good. And some I seen one he looked like okay. I think it was the last one maybe or the one before last. I think the one before last he was actually he was I don't know. It was a tough fight before he got the stoppage, so he had to dig deep to get that. But I like Tiger Johnson where he at. Now here's another twist. So Bomac is training Tiger Johnson for this fight, so that's an interesting look. My man mentioned that earlier. That's an interesting look, and we're gonna see. I think he's been like Tiger been on the rise since he moved up. He coming off a great performance over Nicholas Floss, and a lot of people was thinking he was gonna lose that fight. But what I'm saying, he came out on top and he put the beats on him. He stopped it like Nicholas Floss was on a tough winning streak. So for him to stop Nicholas Floss, bro, that shit was dope. And he's a big, strong. He big and strong at welterweight. To me, he got good size. He about 5'11". He has the size advantage on this fight right here. Tiger, he does a lot of good things. Got a good jab, got a good right hand. You know what I'm saying? Like he got like good speed. There's nothing crazy that jump out the screen other than he kind of basic, but he's very talented and he's solid. He's real solid. So this is a good fight. You know what I'm saying? They got some regional titles on the line. I believe an IBF. Tiger is rated in a couple of sanctioned bodies. So with a win right here, and given that he's tapped in with Top Rank, he can get in position to fight for a title. You know, you got Keyshawn at welterweight now, Brian Norman Jr., former champ. They 1-2 in the WBO. Keyshawn and Devin Haney was ordered to fight. They're in negotiations. You got Rohan Polanco. I would like to see Tiger Johnson versus Polanco after this. I think that would be like a loser leave town type of fight. Yeah, bro, I like Tiger though. I like Tiger in this fight. I think Tiger, he been through enough solid competition where I don't think nothing's gonna be too crazy for him that he haven't seen before. And I think he'll just stick to the game plan what both man has for him. I think he'll box to a good decision. But if he get the stoppage, that'd be dope too. But I like Tiger by decision. He had a lot of expectation coming out of the Olympics. Good to see him start to put it together. Yeah, I think he was a tweener. I think he stayed at 40 too long. I know he was trying to campaign there for a minute, but he became a contender when he moved up to welterweight. So I think he's been looking good lately. And this a good fight right here. Two undefeated young guys too. You know what I'm saying? So that's good. All right, co-main event. We got Bruce Shushu Carrington versus Rene Palacio. So this is Shushu's first title defense. He had a good performance by winning the title, the vacant title, off of against Carlos Castro. That combination to finish him up was nice, and then just the celebration. The whole shit was dope. So you know, Shushu, he's facing Palacios. He's coming off a win over Sagawa. So these guys actually have a common opponent. I thought Sagawa actually edged out a fight against Shushu, but Palacios kind of took it to him and was able to like outwork him and stuff like that. This is an interesting fight too, because Palacios tough. Palacios, watching him, he kind of got a similar style to Jack Calderon in the southpaw stance. He real jittery. Um, and he's aggressive, but he also trying to counter punch. So he's trying to mix that together. He will work on the inside and let hard shots go. So I think that might be maybe a detriment to him because Shushu is a nice catch and shoot guy on the inside. Like he'll land some sharp combinations and can get you up out of there. But I think Shushu can use his jab and his reach and his boxing ability before he go over there and try to take it from him. Here's an interesting thing about this fight too. They will have WBC open scoring. Now, some people don't like it. I like it, honestly. I like it. I think it gives a fighter a sense of urgency. The biggest thing I hear about why people don't like it, is because if a fighter is up big in the fight, they can coast and then they can kind of just sit on the lead and whatnot. But also the other dynamic is when the fighter is down and he hear those scorecards, he have to pick it up. That's what happened with Shock Foster. You can't tell me nothing now. When Shocky Foster heard those scores in Mexico against Rocky Hernandez, he was like, "Oh hell no!" And he picked up the shit and ended up stopping him. So, if it's going to lead to that type of dramatics, I'd take open scoring. So that's just something to look out for. I like Shushu in this fight, but I think he'll have to be cautious. Take his time, and they say you get an extra percentage as a world champion. So we're gonna see. You know what I'm saying? Shushu is one of those guys, fan favorite type of guys. Palacio is gonna push him though. I do believe he'll push him, and we'll see. I think Palacio has a lot of confidence. Off the Sagawa fight because he probably thinking I did better against Sagawa than you did. You know what I'm saying? So good shit. Oh yeah, Tony Yoka. Yeah, he disappointed. He was good his first couple fights, but then as he started to step up, yeah, he regressed. So it's a good fight. And another note with the featherweight division, we need unification like yesterday. We got four good champions. All those guys seem like they circling each other. Top Rank has three world champions under their banner: Angelo Leo, Shushu, and Espinoza. And I haven't heard nothing about those guys unifying. So hopefully after this can lead to something. Now Shushu does have a mandatory, Cristobal Lorente from Italy. He just went over to UK. He had 2 fights with Nathaniel Collins. First fight was a draw. Second fight, he ended up beating him. So I'm not sure if that's due right after this, but I would love to see any one of these unifications. B Figgy, throw him up in there too. But from my understanding, B Figgy going to Japan and make a title defense. Uh, I don't know what Leo doing. Maybe Leo versus Espinoza. Espinoza have a mandatory. Lorenzo Parra. So it's I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's kind of disheartening because when you have a division like this that haven't been unified, and you got 3 champions on your stable like Top Rank does, conventional wisdom says those fights should be easy to be made. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing a lot of national tournaments and the amateurs. The whole crowd can see the judges score the screen. Yeah, I kind of like that shit. I think it makes fighters not have open scoring, make fighters not have fill out rounds. Because those fill out rounds can be the deciding factor. Bruce Gas, what's good with you, bro? Just do boxing in the building. Salute, bro. What's good? Yes, sir. All right, main event. Yo, this is dope main event. The replacement is crazy. Probably one of the few times when the replacement can be looked at as better than the actual regular opponent. Joe Cordina had to pull out. Joe Cordina is a WBO mandatory. He got some legal issues. He done dropped the dude with a lead left hook and shit. Shit's crazy. But he couldn't get a visa to come over here because of that legal shit. So they got Albert Bell. Albert Bell was scheduled to fight Andy Cruz July the 18th, a couple of weeks from now. So he been in some shape, and they've been waiting to have that fight with Andy Cruz for a long time. So I know he been in some shape. Albert Bell was training in Colorado Springs. So I think when you hear that automatically should let fans know that this guy gonna be in some dog ass shape. Because you know when you train that altitude, it's something different. So Mason, homecoming fight for him. He's Cleveland's own. So hopefully they do well out there. I'm hearing there's about 8,000 out there. That's not bad, 8,000 for your first headliner. They fighting at the Holstein Center. That's like the campus of Colorado State. You know what I'm saying? So that's the build up. It's dope. You know what I'm saying? Both guys from Ohio. So it should be it should be a dope atmosphere. Because honestly, Albert Bell been under the radar, right? He's undefeated. He been on the radar. We know his story. He had a hard time getting fights with Top Rank and whatever. So they decided I'd rather just move on from you instead of trying to make these fights that's not ready to be made yet. But since then, he been fighting on the local circuit, fighting in Toledo. You know what I'm saying? Having good crowds and stuff. I mean, he got a good win over Keith Hunter his last fight, but that fight didn't look so eye pleasing because those 2 6-foot guys fighting each other. So, but Albert Bell been active, and the politics of boxing kind of did him dirty. At 33 years old, he should have been fought for a world title, at least an eliminator. Right now, he's tapped in with the PBC, so now opportunities start to come to him now. So he's good to go right now. So I feel like he has to fight with a sense of urgency. You know what I'm saying? This is like his first and last opportunity. That's crazy. 33 years old, bro. All these other guys get opportunities after opportunities. And that's why I tell people boxing is not a sport, it's a business. Because if it was truly, truly a sport, Albert Bell would have been had an opportunity. He probably had 2 or 3, 4 opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Carver. Yeah, I don't have no expectations of that because he don't have like that type of personality. Sean Porter and Tim Bradley, they on there too. I feel like they'll be much better. So I don't know what role he gonna be in, but I'm cool. I'm cool on that. I like the looks of Dula. Getting at such a young age, fought one tough. Yeah, yeah. No, that's good. That tells you the confidence of Abdullah Mason. So we're gonna start with him, man. Abdullah Mason is the champion, reigning champion, southpaw, aggressive fighter. He got skills, you know what I'm saying? He's still young and learning. I felt like his last fight, he fought well. It was very eye pleasing and entertaining. But I felt like he could have made that fight real easy. And he was in there with a tough Sam Note. So I have to give Sam Note some credit. because a lot of shots that Abdullah Mason was hitting him with to the body and upstairs and uppercuts and shit, Notes was still coming. He was taking that shit and coming forward. So he proved that he had a good chin. He said he got Mason by decision. Andre in the building was good. So I mean, Mason is the more dynamic fighter. Probably I would say he's a bigger puncher. Yeah, he's a bigger puncher. That's I think that's safe to say. Um, and he's aggressive. You know, he do a lot of good stuff in the ring, and we'll see if we're gonna try to overwhelm him. He kind of remind me of Boots though. He just don't switch softball. But Mason is like that. He's the next one, and this is all set up for him. It's a lot of pressure on him. His brother's on the card. He's headlined this event. He got a late replacement with a guy that's a vet that's been around for a while. Haven't got his credit. Haven't got his respect in the game. So I see it as a tough fight. Um, but I like Mason though. I think I like his punch. I like his work rate, his punch variety. I think he's more creative with his shots, and he could be in a position where he can overwhelm Bell. We'll have to see. I like to see him push Bell back. Bell actually fight okay coming forward as the bigger, taller guy. You know what I'm saying, or the taller guy. And I think Mason, when he run numbers, get his jab together, can set some things up off of that. Bell, 6 foot tall. He's a crafty guy. You know, I saw that. Yeah, all of them except for one. Here's the other two will be on the card right here. Um, if you scroll up in the comments, well, I can put it back. Here's the link to the prelims where you will see the other two Mason brothers. Here you go. The two Mason brothers. The younger, well, one of them younger. The other one is, I think, like a year older than Abdullah. So they'll fight. I think all of them turned pro except for one. The oldest one turned pro. I think he like 4-2 or 3-2, something like that. And then you have these two guys. They 2-0. So yeah, tap in with them tonight. All right, main event though. This is interesting because these guys know each other. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Happy Fourth. What's good with you? Salute. Let's be real. Salute. What's good?" But Bell, like I said, he been around, and he's not a bad fighter. He can do a lot of good stuff. He understand range and distance, and he's a good counter puncher. Nah, bro, you good? I got you covered. Yeah, just tap into that link, hit your notifications, and then you're good to go. Bell, he's actually a good come forward fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's a good come forward fighter. I think he does a lot of stuff well when he's on the front foot. He's a good fighter on the front foot, but I think he may have to box a little bit here because Mason gonna be excited. He gonna want to put on a show for the fans, and he might want to slow down that youthful energy. You know what I'm saying? Now they sparred, so I'm pretty sure both of these guys are confident taking this fight on short notice. They sparred for the Sam Notes fight, so that's fairly recent. So I think I don't know. Let's see how the tactics are. The one thing Bell does that I don't like, he keep his head straight in the air, and that could be a recipe for disaster if Mason punching that combination. You know what I'm saying? So if he like throwing a throwaway shot and then coming back with a right hook, he may catch Bell pulling out with his head, straight back, straight up in the air. But Bell, he got good timing, man. He got good timing. He's an underrated puncher too. Um, I mean, he haven't been fighting the top competition as of late, but he's good though, and he know how to fight an ugly fight. If it's like a slow pace fight and it's like kind of kind of slow action and one punch at a time type shit and a little bit of holding and tussling, I think that's a Bell fight. I mean, if he got that fight, if he's slowing that fight down and making Mason have to make chess moves and stuff like that, then that means Bell is in this fight. But if he's along the ropes and he catching shots and he getting overwhelmed and stuff like that, then Mason definitely has the advantage of that. This is a tricky fight, though. You think it worked to Bell's advantage? That I think I think that goes both ways. That goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? You know, Bell was training for Andy Cruz, a technical guy that liked to use the ring and an amateur type of style. You know, I would say Bell and Cordina are more compatible than you know what I'm saying. Mason and Andy Cruz, because I mean Mason's a southpaw and all that shit. So I actually think Bell might have to make the most adjustments. You know, that's how I look at it. So I think it might be a advantage for Mason. Oh, Mason unification next. Nah, not next. Cordina gonna be next. Unification, he probably get maybe top of the year because the winner between Roach and Zepeda and Raymond Mortala and Castellao already agreed to unify with each other next. That's why they're on the same card. So Mason, he got to deal with the Cordina. So the Cordina, him not having that fight with Cordina probably slowed down his progress. But he's young, so Top Rank probably want to get him one more anyway. So yeah, that's what I see. But Bell also got a little wrinkle too. I seen him switch to southpaw in a couple of fights too. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have a nice little contingent down there from Toledo. So you know what? This is an interesting fight, man. Like it is. I see ways that both guys can win. I see Mason can win by knockout, maybe late. You know what I'm saying? Bell, he the times that I've seen him clip, he ain't really been hurt nothing like that. So I'm not sure if that's from the level of competition or whatnot, or he just got a good chin. Of course, he got a world title. Yes, he's ready for sure, bro. We don't babysit over here. And you got a world title. And everybody, there's people that had Mason on their pound for pound list when he was like 15, 16 and 0. Nah, bro. Oh, we don't give him all this credit and say he's the next one, and then not fighting Raymond Tyler. No, nah, he ready for that. Um, but my pick, I like Mason. I think Mason will win this fight. You know, secretly I'm rooting for Bell because I like the underdog story. I'm an underdog by nature, so I want to see Bell do well. And I know this is last time, this last opportunity if he don't get this one right, in my opinion. So what I'm looking for, if Bell gonna fight with a sense of urgency, and what I mean by that, not go out there and be reckless and run into some shit, but know where you at. So, all right, if Mason have a good round or he have a good moment, you gotta get that moment back. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all know how it is with the B side guy. He pretty much have to rip the shit away from the champion, right? You know what I'm saying? That's just how shit work. I know it's not supposed to be like that, but that's how it works. But he don't have to go crazy and be reckless. He can just make sure he answering, what I'm saying, the call. Every time something happen, make sure he answering that. Like, you're not supposed to be on the ropes, get off the ropes. If you know you can push the kid back and make him work, push him back. Like, fight with a sense of urgency. Like, this is your actual world title shot and last opportunity. And I don't know if he has that in him because we haven't seen enough of him to kind of put that out there. But at 33 years old, with the track record of him saying the narrative coming into this fight that nobody wanted to fight him and this, that, and the third. And y'all know my mantra: ain't no boogeyman's in boxing. You know what I'm saying? So he has to live up to that narrative. That's why I be hating when they be bringing up other fighters during fight week. Now the onus on you. Now the pressure on you. So when they say, "Oh, Shakur turned him down twice," oh, he must be like that. But then he get in the fight and then don't give his maximum effort to try to win the fight. Y'all know how it is. These guys get these opportunities. Look at Shaq Gearsoft. He been calling out Rolly forever. Get in the fight with Calderon and fought like some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm looking to see. And also on Mason's side, how would he handle the pressure as, the defending world champion at home with his brothers, his family, everybody, what I'm saying, tapped in. This event is set up around him. How would he handle that? You know what I'm saying, to make a star making performance. So that's dope. You said, Mark Tyler Cook, you got to make the fight. Yeah, you got to make that fight. They both got belts in the same division. Abraham Montoya. Abraham Montoya. Let me put it in the chat. If I can box fit real quick. Abraham Montoya. He going back to trying to be the Mexican assassin for Andy Cruz. That's the opponent I heard. I don't like that opponent for him. At that venue, I don't like that fight for Andy Cruz. Because they fighting at StubHub. When you fighting at StubHub, they want blood. They don't want no lateral movement. Um, we'll see. But yeah, that's the opponent I heard. I know late replacement and all this shit, so I get that part. But Montoya is awkward. He should win the fight now. Andy Cruz should win the fight, but Montoya is awkward. Awkward. He falls off balance. He's tough. I don't think he ever been stopped. No, he never been stopped. I'll put his box rec in the chat, and you go tap in and do some research if you haven't seen him. For anybody that haven't seen him, you think Gassiev does anything heavyweight? I think he can. He's a shorter heavyweight with power, and given the right opponent, yeah, he'll beat a lot of these guys. What's the plan for the vacant WBC? So, Lamont Rose Jr. versus William Zepeda. They're gonna fight for the vacant WBC lightweight title August 1st. On that undercard, you have Ray Moratala. He's gonna defend his title against his IBF title against Robson Conceicao. The winners of those two fights, have an agreement to unify. That's why they fight on the same card. You think? I don't know. I haven't seen or had an indication that he's tight at the weight, so I'm gonna say he's good for now. I know that the thing they have around him, that's some religious shit. He's been doing that since pro when he turned pro. That's not an indicator that he's missing weight. That's something they don't want nobody to see his junk as some religious shit. So I think he's cool. So my pick, I like Mason. I like Mason. Hopefully, I want to see how Bell come out. You know what I'm saying, and see if he can take it to him. Here's the full card right here, though. Like I mentioned, let me take this off real quick. Well, the banner, like all guys good. So I put in the chat. I put the link to the prelims. There's only 2 fights on the prelims. Those are the Mason brothers. So you guys can tap in with them. We don't really know much about them. We just know more about Abdullah. So we'll get to see them on the YouTube channel. They're gonna open up the show. Then you got Scooter Davis versus Carlos Ramos. This is a fight where I think Scooter Davis. This is a nice showcase for him. He got a guy coming off a loss and all that good stuff. Returns the 14th. Wonder how long he stayed at 130. He had the eye injury. Toker's in the building. What's good, bro? Salute. Scooter Davis versus Ramos. Like I mentioned about Ramos, he's coming off a stoppage loss to Dimitri Asonu in February, I believe. Body shots did the thing. And Derek Davis, Scooter, he's a good body puncher, a vicious body puncher. So I expect to see some of that same shit tonight. Tiger Johnson and Christopher Guerrero, 2 undefeated young welterweights, trying to make their mark in this division. I believe welterweight division is kind of wide open. I don't think nobody really took the number 1 spot. I mean, I think Haney is probably number 1 just based off, I guess, the Norman win, but I still think it's more to do. I think it's a lot of fighters in that division where he may have to do some more stuff to get that number 1 spot for real. So Tiger Johnson is like on the fringes of a big fight. You know what I'm saying? Just climbing the rankings. They fighting for an IBF regional title. Tiger already got a WBO regional title. Of course, he's with Top Rank. Guerrero, first fight. Is his first fight outside of Canada? So my man, that was a good point. My man mentioned earlier in the chat. I like that. See how he adjusts. Yeah, bro, that's a solid fight. Shushu Carrington versus Renee Palacios. They both got a common opponent, Sagawa. I thought Shushu actually lost that fight, honestly, but I don't know. They gave it to him. Palacios got a win over Sagawa in January. They actually fought. They on the same schedule, so they actually fought a day apart in January. Palacios on the 30th and Shushu on the 31st. Shushu won the world title, and that was a great moment when he stopped the guy Carlos Castro. So we're gonna see. This is Shushu's first title defense. And he got a solid guy in front of him too. I'm looking forward to it. And Mason versus Bell, short notice fight. These guys know each other. I'm pretty sure they feel confident about taking the fight because it's short. This is a difficult fight. I feel like if this was anybody else, I don't think a lot of people would have took Bell on a short notice. So salute to Abdullah Mason. He living up to his moniker, appetite for smoke. You can't say that and not accept this fight. So salute to him. So he living up to his words. I like that. And he's Mason is actually in a spot where he can kind of be like the next budding star. A lot of people are putting that on him already, but if he go crazy on Albert Bell tonight, I'm talking about like a second round knockout, some crazy, some vicious tonight. Then he gonna have what I'm saying, a lot of, what I'm saying, it's gonna be a lot of push for him being the next guy for sure. Because I don't see that happening. But this boxing, and you only as good as your last fight. He's coming off a tough fight with Sam Noakes. Sam Noakes was taking everything he had to offer and giving some shit too. So that's another thing. How much did that take from him? Because that was a pretty brutal fight on both sides, and he had a nice little layoff too. They fought in November, now he's fighting July 4th, so that's probably a solid layoff, and he's still young. And Bell, this is last opportunity in my observation. At 33 years old, first world title fight, like it's now or never. First world title fight, first 12 rounder. Um, and I know he the vet. He been around for a while, but he never went 12. Mason got that under his belt. I know, but he's a solid vet that's smart and been around. So I expect actually a decent fight. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. This is Cleveland. They don't get much boxing, so I expect a nice turnout. Um, I know when Jerry Big Baby Anderson had his homecoming fight in Toledo, he had a nice crowd out there. It was real. It was exciting. It was rocking. So you can hear that shit through the TV. So let's see. Let's see what they can do out there in Cleveland. So yeah, good shit though. We can stick around for a little bit longer, talk some boxing. Feel free, anybody in the building, what I'm saying, you guys can tap in. I think I missed a comment. Who's Shakur gonna fight? I'm not sure. Uh sure, I don't know who he gonna fight. To be honest, the one that looked more realistic than everybody that been naming is Rayo Valenzuela. That looked like the most realistic fight now. Because since he has a collaboration with Zuffa Boxing now. Even though they haven't announced it, it's like one of the oldest, the most worst kept secret in boxing right now. I feel like Rayo is probably the most realistic fight. You know what I'm saying? Because him and Haney, although I would like that fight, but these guys been going around and around for years. There's always something to it. It's never like just actually making a fight. It's always some social media shit. And we know when we see it on social media a lot, uh, normally that fight don't happen, or it get harder to make because everybody got whatever, right? Because imagine doing business, right? And every time you have to run the social media and give an update, I don't think you have to do it like that. Because for the most part, that's how that's how most negotiations start. It be on social media. They go to each platform, go back and forth, and then it's a period, maybe like 2 3 weeks after that, it get real quiet. You don't hear from nobody, and then you get a fight announcement. So we haven't got to that part yet. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we just stand by for that. But yeah, what I would like to see Shakur do, I would like to, because it looked like 35 is pretty much tied up for the next couple of fights. I like to see him fight Unify at 140 pounds against Gary Antoine Russell. I like that fight. I think that's a good one because that's the only unification that's available for him right now too. Because we're waiting to see what Dalton Smith and how he's going to return from his injury, and then when he do return, he got a playoff, and then who else? The IBF. The IBF is vacant. We have we have Adolfo Delgado and Arthur Belassanov fighting for that. We're waiting for a date. I'm hearing it's gonna be on Canelo's card. You know that card got pushed back to October for the Riyadh season opening ceremony. So probably October 24th or Halloween, one of those dates. So the only unification that's there at 140 is Abdullah Mason. Somebody must be thinking about Abdullah Mason and Shakur. But Shakur and Antoine Russell. But we don't know how this new partnership with Zuffa gonna work and what type of fights. So I think the Rayo fight kind of makes sense now because Rayo destroyed De Los Santos, and that's some people look at De Los Santos like he got a win off Shakur when he actually had a trash performance. That fight with De Los Santos basically started this whole shit against Shakur, the slander and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he go see that fight. You know what I'm saying, against Rayo. That's actually not a bad fight, to be honest. At 135, that's not a bad fight. Even at 140, it's not a bad fight. But Shakur, I'm not sure though. Let's see how this Zuffa shit works for him. Virgil Ortiz be back in October. That sounds about right. You think Golden Boy has plans for Ortiz, Conwell? I think that actually makes sense. Either Conwell or Brandon Adams, one of those two. They basically one and the same type shit. So yeah, I can see that. I mean, my preference is he goes straight to the Boots fight. I mean, he said he'll sleep Boots, so I feel like he should stand on that word. And I guess everything was on track to make the Boots and Virgil fight until Oscar jumped in and was like, "Nah, we cool on that." So they gotta stay in place because the zone still want that fight, and I feel like if the zone want it, that they're gonna get their way. You know what I'm saying? Because they got damn near everybody on their platform now, except for PBC. But PBC look like they going over there too. So, yeah, bro, they should go straight to that one. Because the way I look at it, Josh Kelly is gonna be there. All he gotta do is keep winning. Um, that might be that's the realistic fight too. Because if Josh Kelly wins on the 25th, he already got something in place that he gonna fight Boots. So that's an in-house, ready-made 3-belt unification for Boots. They can do that at the end of the year. Actually, I would love to see Boots go to the UK for that one. You know what I'm saying? He will get so much love over there, bro. They'll love him over there. He fuck around won't come back. I mean, he's that good. Why not? You know what I'm saying? If they can get a nice venue out there, I don't know. Josh Kelly from what, the Northeast, but they can do that shit to O2, and they'll love Boots out there. You know what I'm saying? His talent translate. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it matters if he's in Philly, New York, London, Saudi, wherever he go. His talent translate. And I think he'll be okay. But more than likely, they'll get Kelly over here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, shit's heating up though. I mean, Boots put on a great performance. That fight was a good fight. You know what I'm saying? My first thoughts of that fight, I was like, that shit was a fun fight. Xander was bringing it. He just was outgunned and overmatched what we thought was going to happen, and it ended up happening. So that division is definitely in a solid place. And we can get the top guys to fight Fundora eventually. You know what I'm saying? We know Fundora get a lot of heat, but a lot of the times though, I don't think Fundora he don't really care who he fight. I don't think he never have, and he fought some solid competition. It's not like he don't fight nobody. So we're gonna see some good stuff. This weekend, hopefully, this fight tonight, Mason and Bell get a lot of views, some good viewership because you know, other than the World Cup, it ain't nothing really popping. Ain't no boxing like that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no boxing today. This is the only big time boxing. So hopefully, everybody support it. You know what I'm saying? I want to see how that atmosphere looks because Cleveland don't get a lot of big fights. How do you think? Yeah, I seen that. Yeah. Uh, you know what? That's an interesting question, and that's an interesting move. I think Xander they can do go different ways with him. He can get the winner of Vito and Ammo. That I can see that. Uh, maybe if he feels like I'm not sure. So I think it's all contingent on where Xander and how he feel coming off that loss. If he feel like he can step right back in the mix and stay like at the top per se, if we go up to 160, and because the 160 shit, he gonna be right at the top. So if he feel good, I would give him shit. Honestly, like just I like Vito versus Ammo winner. I'm gonna say that. If it's just to test yourself out, I like a Brad Pauls or somebody like that. If he trying to get back in the mix, for sure. If they can somehow work out something where they can he get a Denzel Bentley fight. If Janabek is out of play, if he can somehow get that, but then you got Yo Hernandez, so they gotta be tricky. This is like a very important move. Um, I would stick with the Vito Ammo winner. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Winston Lee, what's good with you, bro? Yeah, they might want to bring him down a step, especially moving up in weight. Maybe get him a fight in Orlando. I can see Matchroom doing that, bringing Xander back in Orlando against maybe a step down opponent or like a fringe contender at the middleweight division. What if he takes the rematch with Boots? Um, that's a dangerous fight. But if he take it, yeah, it got to be the money because you can't say it's gonna be, you know, that he have an epiphany and say he got a game plan to beat him. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't even test out the game plan his coach gave to him. He went straight to the fire. I don't know if that'd be the best move because he should have people in his ear that's gonna walk him off that ledge. But we'll see. I mean, he ran on the ledge before and they couldn't stop him. So, what if he take a couple of weeks and say, you know what, I can do it. I don't know. I think 160 is calling for him. I think 160 is calling for him. But he can get in the mix at 160 for sure. That division is wide open. But if he accepts the rematch clause and exercise that, that's definitely a money situation to me. But then again, if he accepts that rematch clause, then that might be his last payday for real at 23. So I don't know. I would say 160 is the play. There's a lot of fighters at 160 that he probably can get down with, but we'll have to see because somebody gonna have to see Yo Hernandez. I suggest Yo Hernandez to go fight Arizona Lara. I don't see what's wrong with that fight. You know what I'm saying? He's been number one in the WBA for about a year or so, or going up on a year. He's number one in the WBO. But if he go that route, he gonna have to wait for Janabek. Janabek is suspended until December. He has to fight Denzel Bentley. Will he fight Denzel Bentley or will he vacate and move up to 168? We don't know. So Yo is kind of like in a position where he just gotta wait and see. But shit, why not go get the old man Laura? It's not like this This is not the 2014 Lara. Now he is a sniper with that left hand for sure, but you can outwork him in the way how much talent Yo Yo has. He should be okay in that fight. You know what I'm saying? But Cubans don't fight each other, and they don't get no heat from it either. It's all good. But I still like to see that fight because that's his quickest way. When I tweeted that out, I'm like, yo, this is his quickest way to a world title. So why not go for it? And plus, they on the same side of the business. PBC, Warriors, boxing, all that shit. So they should be able to make that fight. From what I see, it just be waiting around for the WBO opportunity. That's it is what it is. Um, AJ and Fury, bro, having tune-up fights. Fury is fighting in the bubble and shit. He don't want nobody to watch his fights. That shit's weird. But shit like that though, it makes me not even really want to be excited for the fight. I'm not even excited for them to fight now. Like they're gonna have to do something crazy. Well, we're gonna watch Fury and Morris walk on tape delay, like it's the '80s and shit. Watching the finals, that shit's weird. Um, yeah, it's weird. I get them having tune-ups. You know what I'm saying? You know how Fury is. Fury gonna have a tune-up. He'll have about 4, 5 tune-ups if he could. You know what I'm saying? But I get this one and then go straight to the fight. But them not having it on like they having it behind closed doors, like it's the pandemic is wild. So we gotta watch still footage of him going the distance with Morris Watt because that's what's probably gonna happen. He gonna tickle Morris Watt at the weigh-in and shit, hug on him and kiss on him, and then he just gonna tap on his head for 10 rounds, and then I guess we're supposed to be excited. They're supposed to show the fight on Netflix on his show or some shit. So I guess that's how they want to do it. From my understanding, the fight gonna happen behind closed doors. We're gonna know the results and everything, but they're gonna air the fight on an episode of. He have a show on Netflix, so they're gonna air his fight on one of his episodes. He said, "Who you got?" Oh man, I like Iglesias in that fight. If that fight happened, um, I don't think it's like one way action though, but I like Iglesias. Shiraz is getting better. I like how he's looking under Andy Lee. And he's tall and rangy that he can probably give Iglesias some good bump. But I'm gonna take Iglesias if that fight happens. I hope they make it next, but I think Shiraz gonna have some easy work. He's supposed to fight July 25th as well, and hopefully we get that Iglesias versus Carlos Adames fight that's been uh, that's been rumored. That's a good one too, and I think Adames may have an opportunity to win that fight too. So yeah, some good stuff, man. Next week, what we got next week? Shit, I know this week been lightweight, but still, we still got some boxing. Even it's still boxing across the world to watch. There's never not any boxing. It's just probably like the big time boxing that you guys used to. But Gassiev is fighting next weekend. He gonna have a late replacement because Tony Yoka pulled out. So we're trying to see who they give him. So it's not really a big time fight week next week as well. So yeah, but it is about that time where they start to figure out the rest of the year or the fall. You know what I'm saying? The schedule and shit. He said Berlanga. What's up with Berlanga? Berlanga's fight. He's fighting what? July the 8th, July 28th, right? Yeah. Berlanga might be in the shootout. He's facing Stephen Butler. And Stephen Butler, he don't win fights by decision. You know what I'm saying? Most of his fights is by knockout victory. And both of those guys are big, solid punchers. Yeah, somebody might, July 26th. Somebody might get slept. That's not a bad card either. You know what I'm saying? Hitchens versus Salas. It's not a bad fight, honestly, for your first fight in 147 against Salas, who is a fringe contender at the welterweight division. And that fight will possibly be an IBF eliminator for the number 2 spot. We know Leon Paro just won the title off Lewis Crocker. His mandatory is Paddy Donovan. Paddy Donovan is going to fight on Cade Taylor's undercard. He's facing a southpaw, Tyrone McKenna. So that's his preparation for Leon Paro. And then after that, like what Paro has a voluntary, so he can fight whoever who's trying to give him the biggest bag. It might be Pacquiao. Or it might be the winner between Teofimo and Rolly. That's a possibility since Paro has a relationship with the PBC now. Leon Paro and Albert Bell has a relationship with the PBC now. So that's some interesting shit. And they really don't sign fighters or announce that they sign fighters, but they work with them. So that's interesting too. But yeah, so what I was saying about Hitchens and Salas, typically that's a good fight for your welcome to 147. But with all the shit talk and all this, the way how Hitchens is right now, like really, ain't nobody messing with him in this boxing game. Like the fans, like we down on him. He's in the doghouse, and it goes back from him not being willing to face Sabrina Matisse. You know what I'm saying? And now since Leon Paro won the title, now he want to fight an eliminator to get a possible rematch down the line. That shit sounds weird. Leon Paro is his linchpin, I guess. But Sergey Derevchenko versus Jaleel Hackett on that card, that's a crossroads fight. Like that's a fight where I can see both guys winning, but I think if Jaleel Hackett going to win that fight, he's going to have to fix his defense. His defense been on some bullshit. I might go to that fight. Tickets are cheap. Okay, that's what's up, bro. Yeah, they working with the IBF. They have an IBF title fight on their card August the 8th. Aaron McKenna gonna fight for the vacant IBF. He wins that, he got to fight Amari Jones. Omar Trinidad was just ordered to fight Luis Nunes, IBF eliminator featherweight, to be the mandatory for Angelo Leo. And that's why I was saying earlier about the featherweight division need unification because Leo is clear of a mandatory since Raif Salim missed weight. Now, sure, he's free to fight unification. I don't understand the holdup. Hopefully, Shushu can get it. If Shushu wins tonight, they can make that shit next. You know what I'm saying? Espinoza, it's crazy. This shit remind me of PBC when Leo Santa Cruz and Mr. Gary Russell was champion in the same division for about 2 years and then fight. That shit just weird, yo. And at the time, they was having sides of the streets, but I guess they was having in-house sides of the streets too. Paddy lost to Crocker twice. I thought he would have kicked him out the rankings. Nah, he stayed up pretty high. Nope. And then, yeah, he beat Karen in the final eliminator. Beat Karen pretty good. Yep, he's back in the mix. Um, I thought he actually won both fights, to be honest. Even though he was dropped in the second fight twice, I thought he did enough to win on points. In the first fight, it was a disqualification, but he had Crocker's number. Crocker and that overhand left hook is nasty. He was landing that shit over and over. But yeah, he's back in the mix, and he's in that same camp as Ben Whitaker and Hamza Shiraz. So if he get past and beat Tyrone McKenna in an all Irish showdown, which I expect him to win, then they're gonna order him and Paro. But Paro, like I said, he can get a fight in, and don't be surprised if Pacquiao get that fight. Don't be surprised. Won the IBL title, the first belt Pacquiao won. I can't remember. I don't know. He might have to go down to Australia. Remember, he went down to Australia and lost to Jeff Horn. Yeah, that was a tough fight for him too. So yeah, bro, we'll see. There's a lot of stuff that can happen though. There's a lot of ins and outs and shit with this boxing game. Um, there's fights like still out there that's working on that should be made pretty soon. We haven't heard the full undercard of AJ and Pringa, but we understand that Josh Kelly is going to fight on that card, defend against Kevin Ajako. That's not an easy fight though. That's not like that's a solid first title defense. You know what I'm saying? Bakram is like in the same position Patty Donovan in, right? He lost his title. Well, only difference is Patty Donovan wasn't champ, but Bakram lost his title, and then he petitioned to get an immediate rematch with Josh Kelly because the referee scored that last round, that 12th and only last round, uh, 10-10, but all the other rounds was regular. So he petitioned, and then they came on short. But what they gave him, they didn't grant him his petition. So what they did in consolation, they kept him high enough in the rankings. So they kept him like, I think they gave him like 3 or 4, and then somebody in front of him moved out the way, and now he's basically the mandatory. So they ordered Bakram. So it supposed to have been Kevin Ajako versus Brandon Adams. Brandon Adams got sick the day of the fight, so they had to cancel that elimination fight. So then the IBF ordered Bakram versus Kevin Ajako. Kevin Ajako turned it down because he got the world title fight with Josh Kelly. So then it went down the list. They ordered Bakram versus Brandon Adams. And then Brandon Adams turned it down because he don't want to go to Russia, basically. Bakram's team won the purse bid, and they was trying to stage it in Russia, but it's a no go because of security concerns and all that shit. So Bakram he can go to the IBF and say, "Hey, look, we did everything we tried to do to make the fight. Can you make us the mandatory?" Since he was a former champ, so yeah, and that's why I'm saying like Boots and Kelly, they should go ahead and lock that shit in now. At least somebody need to be in communication with the IBF with the intentions and what they plan on doing later in the year, do a 3-belt unification. That way, the mandatory won't get in the way of their business. You feel what I'm trying to say? So these guys can do that if they got, they can do that. Oh, that's a good fight, bro. That's on Lester's card. That's a good fight. Nice. All right, I'm with that. That's a lightweight fight. I see Jordan White. I seen him in the new. What was it? What was the last rankings I did? WBC. You know what I'm saying? That's a good fight. Uh, uh, that's a good one. I like that one. Yeah, I'll be tapped in. Crocker is aggressive. Was aggressive with Lamb. Yeah, he was walking straight to him. One of these close fights that will give the champion because the opponent didn't do enough. I thought Paro did enough. I thought he did enough. Honestly, it was close. He finished. He finished strong though. I mean, he finished weak as hell, Paro. But I thought he was up in that fight. I had him up 7-3 going to the championship rounds. You know what I'm saying? Because even though my man was coming forward, he was getting outpointed. Len Paro was touching him, moving to the side, angles and stuff. Then he started to slow down. You know what I'm saying? He started to slow down. And Crocker couldn't take advantage of it. Isn't Joe Joyce the leading replacement? I don't think so. I think the leading replacement is. Hold on, I'm gonna pull him up on Boxrec so you can go check him out. I think one of them is Brandon Moore. Brandon Moore is one of them. You know him. And then the other guy, I'm gonna put him on Boxrec. Peter Kuros from Germany, the black German. Let me see, can I find him? But those are the two. I would think it would be Joe Joyce, but maybe that's not what they want to do. I don't know. Here's one of the guys that's in the running for it. Go to their. Hey, look, this is what I do. When I heard the name, I went to their IG and see what they doing. See if they got any encrypted messages or something. Because a lot of times these fighters, you know what I'm saying, they'll tell you what they're doing. You just gotta read between the lines. So I seen on his story, he had won some regional WBO title in his last fight. He fought that crafty guy. I forgot his name. Um, Gashi. He fought Gashi in his last fight. And then on his story, he was holding the WBA, like a WBA regional title. So I don't know if that was a subliminal. I don't know. Here's the other guy too. I'm gonna put him in the chat. Um, Pro box was the best thing to happen in Short Dog's career. Other than the Tellus fight, you might be right because Tellus got busy on him. What you think about Yo Yo? You think Yo Yo ever fights Lara? He should fight him. He should. I don't know if he will, but he should. Like, I don't understand. That's an easy fight to be made. But the thing is, Cubans and Dominicans at the top level don't fight each other. They won't fight each other. You know what I'm saying? So, in boxing, certain fighters get criticized for not fighting each other, but it's a lot of people like that. It's a lot of fighters that would not fight their certain guys. It's just not publicized, and they're not in the algorithm. So, and I don't think they hate it enough to even care. Right? Nobody really care what Lara doing. Nobody care. Old man Lara chilling. Yo Hernandez, like we like him as a fighter. We think he's probably the best at middleweight, but ain't nobody waving no flag for him. Nobody really cares. It's not Keyshawn or Shakur. You know what I'm saying? Even Fabio Worley and Moses Thomas said they won't never fight each other. No heat, no smoke, no nothing. It's just business as usual because they're not in that algorithm. That's how shit works. So, you know, it is what it's funny to me. It's just certain, when you listen to certain people, they can't never keep it 100. So they can only go a certain point. Then they gotta stop. They're not like me. I can go any way I want to. I have no restrictions because I don't care what they think of me. I don't care about none of that other shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about criticizing or say what I say because I don't have no dog in the race. I just love boxing. And I want to get the fights in the ring, so it really don't matter to me. We good. But yeah, those two box rates I put in the chat, those are the likely opponents for Gasly. If I'm not sure how they're gonna make it work. I feel like if between the two, logistically, I would pick the German fighter, the first one I put out there. Um, Brandon Moore is in the U.S. He's from Florida. Um, he's with Salida, I believe. I think he is. He was supposed to fight on one of the recent cards, so maybe he can get out there and get this opportunity. But to be honest, and I'm just being real, I don't want Moore to get it because American fighters. No, let me take this back. Let me word it the right way. American heavyweights don't travel well to Russia and the UK. They don't travel well. There's not a lot of good heavyweights. There's not a lot of heavyweights that have big success going to these to Europe and Russia. Now I ain't gonna say not all of them. I'm just saying a majority of them. Chris Bird, uh, what was it Ray Austin? Ray Austin. Shit, even Ali got dropped twice by dude. Um, I'm just saying, like recent guys, when they go over to Europe and these Americans go over there, they get beat up. Stop. You know what I'm saying? You only get criticized if you tied the bud. Them other guys get criticized too. Haney, them guys get criticized. Yeah, I don't think he gonna travel well, Brandon Moore. I don't know. That would be good if an American can win the title. But I feel like he's gonna be a typical opponent. Go over there. He already got an ugly style. You know, he's gonna let Gassiev get away by not throwing punches for the first 3 or 4 rounds. That once Gaston throw that one left hook, he not gonna he gonna look for a place to lay down, bro. Just look at the history of our American heavyweights traveling overseas for a big fight, bro. We got a trash ass record, bro. I ain't don't bring up no fucking Rocky and damn Drago shit. I'm talking about some real live shit, bro. A lot of these heavyweights go over there, American heavyweights, they go over there and get smashed. You know what I'm saying? Talk a good game. Like Malik Scott let me down back in the day against Shazora. Went over there and you already know you gotta know where you at. He took the knee and they stopped the fight at 9. You know, the UK stoppage. But it's a lot of fighters, a lot of US fighters go over there and get beat up. And Brandon Moore hasn't showed me anything that I'm thinking that he's gonna be any different. So if he do, salute. But I'm just saying, because sometimes, bro, I don't let that patriotism get my ass, get me all caught up. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But if I don't believe in you, I'm not gonna ride. I'm just saying that's just how it is. That's just the game of boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's just a game like anything. You don't have to just because they're American. That shit sounds good. You know, like that's like me rooting for Jaleel Hackett, right? He denounced the black culture. He's Mexican something. What is he? He done changed his name. You know, by his name on Zuffa Boxing, he don't have a U.S. flag. He got He got a Mexican flag. I'm like, man, what the fuck? He done fucked up. But then I looked on his trunks. He repping the Mexican. He wearing a sombrero and shit. So you know what I'm saying? Do we still got root for him? He done denounced this shit. You know, it is what it is. If Brandon Moore get that opportunity, salute to him. You know what I'm saying? He said the next American star. Shit, let's go. We need it. But I ain't hold my breath. Those dudes, I don't know. It's different. It's a different time, bro. We done lost that edge. We lost that shit with the Klitschko's. The Klitschko's, that era, and we ain't never really regained it back. We had Wilder, but he was never respected and didn't get the adulation that he deserved. And the other heavyweights, American heavyweights, you know, if we count Andy Ruiz, what he do? He win the title, then he ate himself out of the heavyweight undisputed title. You see what I'm saying? So how can we get behind that shit? You feel me? Or maybe he feel like we was never rocking with him. I guess it is what it is. But if he taking that moniker, and I guess since he took that moniker, he just don't give a fuck about his defense. You know what I'm saying? So let me see how that parlay look. Let me see how do that shit against Derenchenko. You know Derenchenko, he's a dangerous guy, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's not like a big puncher, but he'll take it to you. He normally beat guys in this level. The level Jaleel Hackett on, he normally beat those guys. You know what I'm saying? But he is older, so that's why I say it's a crossroads fight. Jaleel Hackett is a young guy. Um, you know, probably should have moved up a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? A long time ago. And now he's at 160. And I don't think he punching like that at 160. And he getting hit more against bigger guys. That's a recipe for some bullshit to happen. You know what I'm saying? So we'll have to see. He did look good last year on that Crawford fight week, and he's been active. He looked real good on that, but he had an issue with the weight, but he did look good though. And but the two fights he had on Zuffa Boxing, I don't know. So yeah, we're gonna see, man. Once again, we got this fight day tonight. I make sure you guys tap in live from Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? We got Aberville. He gonna challenge Abdullah Mason for the WBO title. We got two Mason brothers on the undercard. That's on the prelims. I'm gonna put that back in the chat so you guys can tap in with it. So about hold on, the wrong one, the wrong link. Hold on, I'm gonna put it back in the chat. So this prelims is gonna start at the top of the hour, so about 15 minutes. You guys can tap into that. We got two prelim fights for you guys. I haven't seen the Mason brothers all of them. I seen the oldest one fight. These two that's fighting tonight, I seen like highlights of them. So I can't tell you how nice they are or not. We're gonna find out tonight. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see what they on. They both 2-0 with two knockouts. You know what I'm saying? Here are the two brothers right here. Them dudes look just all them dudes look alike, man, for sure. That's what's up. And this is a good platform for these guys to showcase their talent along with their brother who is world champ. So that's dope. Scooter Davis, good up and coming prospect, good body puncher. He went the distance for the first time of his career, his last fight. Let's see if we get that KO streak back rocking and rolling. He's a good body puncher, and I think that's how he'll win by body shot. Tiger Johnson and Christopher Guerrero. This is a good welterweight contest. Two undefeated guys. I like Tiger Johnson though. I like him. I like his size in this fight. I like his jab. Like I was saying earlier, he's a solid basic fighter. That's not a diss because he do a lot of shit well. You know what I'm saying? Shushu is having his first WBC title defense. He's a featherweight champ. He's facing Palacios, who is a good fighter. This should be a good one. They got a common opponent, Sagawa. So let's see if that what they say triangle theory don't matter. I never really understand. I never understood what triangle theory mean. Maybe I'm missing the boat of it. But what if I beat this guy and I fight that guy? That means I can beat the other guy, or I don't know how this shit work. I'd be confused. I'm gonna say this: the great ones, they break that triangle theory because they beat everybody. So be great. I like Shushu. And then Mason and Bell. So we already talked about the ins and outs of this. Interesting fight though. Ohio versus Ohio. I just can't wait to see the atmosphere, man. I hope the fans is out there for them. Albert Bell got his first and last opportunity. Mason got opportunity to put on a show and stamp his name as a star. So this is gonna be good. Prelims at 7, and then 8 o'clock on the East Coast. That's when the main card gonna start. The card you can catch this card on either the Zone or TNT. So this is the first show on TNT. So they're doing a little collab and yeah. I don't even know if anybody got regular cable. Everybody I know now is streaming. We done been cut the cord. Maybe it's because I'm from the DMV. ProBox card is better than Zuffa cards to me. Maybe I mean in some cases, yeah. No. You're right. Yeah, ProBox is better. I think so. Zuffa just got the better production. But ProBox, they about to step that shit up when they hear us behind that paywall. And I'm willing to pay my $5 a month because ProBox been good to me. So yeah, no, ProBox is better. I think for sure. You know what I'm saying? ProBox is better. So yeah, that's what it is, man. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your night for sure. The 4th, hopefully everybody got some good food. If y'all do that, y'all celebrate that, cookouts and shit. Definitely tap into this boxing tonight. Hopefully we have a great event. We got 3 good fights, undefeated guys going at it. So I think it'd be dope. And then we'll come back tomorrow and talk about it. Salute to everybody coming through the building. That's my time, and I'm out.